Hey guys, I hope you guys are doing awesome. This is Sean from HZad Education, and today we're going to talk about CELPIP and IELTS writing. We're going to talk about the most common phrases that we always see when we do our feedback and what we see in exams. And these are really common, which is why we shouldn't use them. We should be using some fancy words, and trust me, most of you face these situations where you use these words. So let's have a look at the first thing. First, we're going to discuss the letters or emails because that's the task one of IELTS or CELPIP. Now, when we are writing emails to complain, so formal emails, what most people say is, I want to make a complaint, or I want to complain about, which is so basic. Now, if you haven't seen my template video on this channel, please do. There are, I think, 2 or 3 videos where I have explained the writing and speaking templates. That will really show you how to start and finish writings properly. Today's video is mostly for what we have to do in the middle part. So if you have already seen that, and I know a lot of you have, you know the start of a good letter is the purpose of my writing today is. So we start with that. The purpose of my writing today is. Now, how do we mention the complaint part? You're going to say the purpose of my writing today is to lodge a complaint regarding. So lodge, L-O-D-G-E, that means to register a complaint. So that's fancy, of course. Complaint, we're using it with the T because that's the noun. We're not using the verb. Okay. The purpose of my writing is to lodge a complaint regarding. This is more fancy, gives the examiner a great impression right away. And most people judge the book by the cover, so it's a really good cover to have. Now going to the next thing, number 2, my suggestion will be. So a lot of times in letters you're asked to give a suggestion and people say my suggestion will be. Very simple phrase, right? Instead, you should say, if I may, it is highly recommended to. If I may, comma, and it's like you're asking permission, it is highly recommended to. I have on purpose used these kinds of words. It is highly recommended to, or it is argued, or when I say it is noticed. When you say them, it's different than the rest of your letter, because I'm sure the rest of your letter is I want to and I prefer. But if you say it is recommended, it gives you a range of sentences and a variety that examiners are looking for. Okay, the next one is I was very upset at whatever. You know, you're complaining to someone. So I was very upset at the service, or I was very upset at the quality, whatever. Don't say I was very upset. It is very basic. Instead of that, you can say I couldn't help. Okay, I couldn't help but be despondent at the state of your restaurant, at the state of your service. Once again, I couldn't help but be despondent at the state of whatever. Despondent means disappointed. It's more fancy. And when you're saying I couldn't help but, it is a complex phrasing you're putting in there. So use that instead. Everything that I'm saying, if you are taking some while to take notes, don't worry. This is all mentioned on my blog. The link is in the description, so you can check it out, all written on my blog. Okay. The next the next phrase that people say is please fix this as soon as possible, right? So you're requesting at the end of your letter to have this problem fixed. Now, instead, what you can say is please remedy the situation as it is a time-sensitive matter. Time-sensitive, you hyphenate it, and that way it's one word, so it's not too many words. Please remedy the situation. Remedy is a common word, but when you say remedy the situation, you use it as a verb, which less people do, and that's why it becomes unique and complex. And then you're not saying as soon as possible. You know, when I was doing this, instead of as soon as possible, I said at your earliest convenience, and I removed that too. I said even that's very common. So I hope you guys start thinking like me. Everything that's common, remove it, put something else in there. So instead I said as it is a time-sensitive matter, more fancy. The last thing, and this is more of an informal letter situation, people would say, I want to invite you guys over to visit me. So very simple to say, right? You're inviting someone. Instead, how about you say, my doors are always open, awaiting a visit from your beautiful family. Okay, so you compliment their family. We're trying to put an adjective there, beautiful, and that way you have a range. You know, you should have adverbs, adjectives, and nouns and verbs. So I put beautiful family there. And by saying my doors are always open awaiting, it's more fancy, it's more expressive, like I'm trying to convey my feelings, not just writing a robotic sentence. And if you have feelings, your meaning will sound deeper and will connect with the examiner more. Plus, at the end of the sentence, I'm going to put an exclamation mark. So exclamation marks should be used in informal letters. The more, the better, because you need to show your feelings. Like if you say, if you ever say that, can't wait to see you guys, or I'm extremely happy, and you put a full stop, it is terrible, because that full stop shows that it's a serious sentence, but you're actually showing you're excited. So you got to use an exclamation mark when you're showing exaggerated feelings. Now let's switch over to essays. And guys, I'm going to talk about option A and option B, which is common in CELPIP. You pick an option. If you guys are here for IELTS, don't worry about the wordings option A and option B. Just think of your topic versus the other topic, because in IELTS also you're given two different topics. So CELPIP guys, let's have a look at this sentence. When you go from one paragraph to another, you use this usually. On the other hand, let's look at the other option. Okay, so you know how paragraph or body 1, you talk about one option, you go to body 2 and you say, on the other hand, let's look at the other option. Instead of saying those basic words, you should say, nonetheless, okay? Instead of on the other hand, use a more unique and complex word. Nonetheless, for the sake of playing devil's advocate, and then you continue with the option. Devil's advocate is a phrase, it's a phrase. It's used to explain that we're playing or we are supporting a side that is the devil's side. It's not the preferred side, but it's the side that would not work out. For example, let's say a lot of people support Donald Trump, okay? But when the elections were happening, assuming Donald Trump is evil, and we're thinking, who's the other guy? Joe Biden, sorry. So Joe Biden and Donald Trump. And everybody thinks Joe Biden is great, so we're supporting him. Joe Biden will make the economy better, etc., etc. But to play the devil's advocate, Donald Trump didn't get a fair chance because of COVID. So now, going to the other side, I'm saying playing devil's advocate. It's like you're supporting the devil side, the other side that you don't prefer. That's why you call it devil. So once again, the phrase is, nonetheless, for the sake of playing devil's advocate, and then you continue talking about the other side. It's so different, so unique. That's why I'm explaining it to you, because most people don't know it, and that's why the examiner will be impressed, because it is unique. Use unique things. The 7th sentence, I believe, is when people say option A is better, okay? Or IELTS, you say this thing is better. Instead of just saying it's better, don't ever say it's better. It is so simple. Instead of that, you should say option A seems to be the viable selection. V-I-A-B-L-E. Viable selection. When I was saying selection, I was writing initially, option A seems to be the viable option. But then again, I'm like option, right? So it's simple, basic, and repetitive. Say selection. Because most people say it's a good choice, it's a good option. People don't say selection, so just say selection. It's different. The next sentence is option A will not be good. Okay, good and bad. Killer words, don't use them. So instead of saying option A will not be good, try saying that option A will not yield the apropos result. Apropos means appropriate result. Instead of appropriate, you're saying apropos, to be fancy. Again, all these things are written in the description. There's a link that'll take you to my blog. Everything is written there, so you can check it out there to see the spellings. Again, the sentence is, option A will not yield the apropos result. It's more fancy when you say it that way. The next one is when you say that something should be done. You know, you're suggesting, again, something should be done. So you say something should be done. Don't say that. Again, say it is imperative. It is imperative that something, whatever, is undertaken. So it is imperative that something is undertaken, which means something is done. More fancy. The last sentence for today is when people say instead of option, they would say option A will provide whatever and also provide whatever. Instead of simply saying that, you should say the pros of option A are not simply limited to whatever, but also expand to areas of whatever. Okay, let me repeat. The pros of option A are not simply limited to whatever, but also expand to areas of whatever. It's more fancy when you say it that way. When you say not only, but also, that's a complex sentence. When you say simply, you put an adverb there. When you say pros, that's a complex vocabulary, and all of that comes to a really good sentence structure. So guys, I hope this helps. These things, if you apply them in your writing, will make your writing look amazing, and it will make you look unique, which is what you need. If you simply copy what others say, you use words like better, best, good, bad, and all those things, you will not get any good mark. So please make sure to implement these things in your next exam, in your next tutorial, if you're taking lessons from us already. And if you find this valuable, please do subscribe and like, share it with your friends, let people know what we're doing here. And thank you so much for your support for our growing channel. I really do appreciate it. Once again, guys, this is Sean. Thank you for your time, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. Take care.